Hey, how y'all doing? Just got to the top at Malham Cove. Have you ever been faced with making a tough decision and you don't know which way to turn? Well, it's quite normal to be caught in that predicament where you've got a decision. And I'm going to give you 5 tips that will hopefully help make it easier. So, when we have decisions, it can be quite anxiety provoking, and that's because, the human mind likes a comfort zone, and making a decision often means change, and that's quite tough. So, it can be quite stressful, and sometimes we can become a little bit paralysed by it. So what do we do? Tip number 1, the first thing to decide is, are the implications short term or long term? Because that matters. If it's short term, let's say you're booking a holiday and you can't decide which hotel to book, then a great way to do this is look for the decision where you have an easy out. So in the case of a hotel, what you can do is, if you've got a free cancellation, say, you're booking it on an app, you've got a free cancellation, then just book it, because you can always cancel later, and then you just get it off your chest. And if the decision has a long-term effect, then it's a little bit more difficult. When we say a long-term decision, we mean something that's going to be life-changing, or something that, like who to go into business with, what job to take, where to live, should you move to another country, should you get married to this person. These are all decisions that are likely to affect you for, say, 10 years or more. So they're treated a little bit differently. I would take Naval Ravikant's simple heuristic. If you're evenly split on that decision, it's almost always a no. And what you should do is you'd always take the route that has the most pain in the short term. And why is that? That's because our brain is generally geared up to looking for the short-term gratification or the short-term validation. It's always looking for the easy route out. And if it's a long-term decision, like something that's life-changing, then that generally comes with more hard work, and it's a harder route to, it's a bigger goal, it takes a lot more effort, and there's generally some pain involved in getting that decision if you want the best outcome. So your brain will always try and seek the easy way out. And that could be in anything, you think. Long-term decision, to get in shape. The hard route is to sort your diet out, eat well, train well, and be consistent. That's difficult. The easy route, keep putting it off, keep eating takeaways, not looking after yourself. So if it's a long term, always take the decision that gives you the most pain in the short. So another example is, if you're going to get married to the wrong person, the decision that offers the pain in the short term, if that person isn't right, so actually breaking up with them, let them free, and carry on improving yourself and becoming the person that you would like to marry. Doing the work that you need to do to find that better person. That's harder, and that offers the most pain in the short term, but it's also the right thing to do. Second tip, draw up a simple pros and cons list. Look for asymmetrical upside. So this is where loss aversion comes in, and you've got to be mindful of loss aversion. And that is that we tend to fear losing something more than we do to gain something. So generally we will need the gain, the upside, to be roughly 1.5 to 2.5 times the downside in order to make that decision. So if you see an asymmetrical upside, go for it. Tip number 3, Tim Ferriss has a great thing that he uses called the whole body yes, and this is really good. What he says is, you look to the head, the heart, the chest, and the gut, and you look for no signals, so you look for any tightness in any of them. And unless you get a clean yes across all those 4 areas, it's a no. Tip number 4 is just to be okay with uncertainty, right? Because uncertainty and change are the only constants in life, and you've got to become okay with that. And that's training yourself to get out of your comfort zone every day. And it's difficult to do, but you've got to come to terms that change is the only constant in life. And lastly, tip number 5, this is one of the most important tips, something that I've noticed when I journal, is generally we always make the right decisions. We always make a good decision. Because I journal, I'm able to look back at when I make decisions and things. And the one thing that I've always found is that whilst we make the right decision, we almost always could have made it a lot sooner, months sooner. So when we make the decision, we can make it sooner. So the tip is try to speed up your decision making. You generally make the right decision. You quite often just put it off for months and months, way beyond past you should. So I hope them 5 tips are going to help you to make a decision. You know, it is tough, but just use them tips, see how you get on, see if it makes it easier. Any comments down below you want to talk about any difficult decisions you've had, that's great. And just remember, change is the only constant in life. Be okay with it. All right, hope you like that one. Don't forget to like it and subscribe, and see you all next time.